Ancient Greek Mythology, an introduction. Mythology, it's Greek. Greek mythology is not only interesting, but it is also the foundation of allusion and character genesis in literature. Although when we think of mythology, we think of a collection of stories, there is a beginning to them. Understanding the beginning of the story, the creation of the world, it gives us a framework to build upon as we learn about the different myths. The picture that you're seeing here is of Mount Olympus, where the gods lived. So how did the Greeks view the creation of the world? The short answer is this: scary old gods came first. They were stomped down by their kids, who were better-looking, younger gods. These gods created humans. Humans and gods fought for supremacy, and the humans won a few rounds, but eventually got trounced and became more and more miserable. But there is a longer answer. The longer answer says, in the beginning, the universe was without form. It was not nothing. There was matter, but it was unorganized, shapeless, mixed up, and dark. This was called chaos. After chaos, more divinities or gods came into being. Gaia, the earth, held up Uranus, the sky. Gaia and Uranus had a bunch of kids. First, they had a bunch of monsters, including Cyclops, and then they created the Titans as the second generation. Uranus hated all the Titans and was actually quite ugly about it. But there are only a couple of Titans that you need to remember. First, Oceanus, the god of the sea, and then Cronus, the strongest and best one of all. Gaia was pretty ticked at Uranus for being a jerk, so she helped Cronus overthrow him. So wait, let's get this straight. Cronus is Uranus' son. Cronus became the king, bye-bye Uranus, and married his sister Rhea, another Titan. It's kind of like a soap opera or a telenovela. This was called the Golden Age because men who had been made by a Titan named Prometheus were living in harmony. Everything was hunky-dory. But it didn't last, though, because Cronus heard a prophecy that one of his sons would dethrone him. So every time his wife Rhea had a baby, he swallowed it. Rhea got a little sick of seeing all of her children swallowed alive, so she tricked Cronus when her sixth child, Zeus, was born. She wrapped up a rock to look like a baby and had Cronus swallow that instead. Zeus rescued his previously swallowed siblings, and all was right with the world. So the Greeks had a unique view of the world. It was different than ours. The Greeks believed that the world was flat, but circular, kind of like a paper plate, and at the very center was Greece. This world was divided by the Mediterranean, which means middle of the lands. The river ocean flowed around the world in a clockwise motion. In the north lived Hyperboreans, an extremely happy people with whom life was sweet. When the old people became tired of living, they threw themselves into the sea. This was a land of constant vacation where people were said to have lived for 1,000 years. In the south lived the Ethiopians. In Greek drama, mention is often made of various gods being in Ethiopia, meaning really far away. So, if I say parked in Ethiopia this morning, that would mean I am close to my office or far away. The Ethiopians were said to be on good terms with the gods and liked to entertain them. To the west there were the Elysian fields. This was the closest to the Greeks got to the idea of heaven. Only the best and brightest of the dead people got to go here. And here you can see a picture with the sea in the middle. Now the next two slides are going to be books for you to listen along to. The links will be posted on Google Classroom. So you have two activities for this lesson. The first activity is to draw your own representation of the Greek view of the world on a paper plate using colored pencils and crayons or markers, whatever you have, and the map on the slides as a guideline. Be sure to include Ethiopians, the Hyperboreans, and the Elasian fields on your map. The second activity is to write a one-paragraph comparing the Greek view of the world to the contemporary view of it, how it is now. This would include at least 2 points of comparison and 2 of contrast. So, for your paragraph, you want to begin with a topic sentence, such as the Greek view of the world both resembles and differs from the contemporary view. Then list 2 ways the views are the same or similar. The Greek view resembles the contemporary view in that, or additionally, the views are similar because. Then you'll want to list 2 ways the views are different. However, the Greek view is not the same as the contemporary view because the Greeks believed, or the Greeks also thought, and then you will state your conclusion. Therefore, even though the views have similarities, they differ in important ways.